What is up, Buccos Nation? Welcome to Pirates Live 412. I'm Mason Sapesky, your host. Tonight is going to be our Sunday weekly recap show, where we recap the past week in Pirates baseball, in this case, week and a half, and we look ahead to the next week. So tonight, we will be diving into the games against the Mets, the opening series, which didn't go as well as I would have hoped, but it's okay once we get a little deeper into the show. But against the Mets, the road trip to Cincinnati, Ohio against the Redlegs, and our opening weekend sweep of the Baltimore Orioles. So my computer could be a little slow. Oh, here it goes. But I'm filming on my phone. I'm using my computer for stats. So yeah, bear with me here because it's a little bit slow. But anyway, first and foremost, I just want to say thank you guys for tuning in. And if you haven't already, please tune in to my pregame and postgame shows every game. I try to do a YouTube short for every game, as you couldn't tell. We do a pregame show. We do a postgame show. I really love doing those for you guys. So it's awesome just being with you. And I'm doing this for you guys, the fan base. So yeah, it's definitely great to have that. And I love it. So God bless the box. Anyway, though, tune into those if you haven't. We try to do one on every game. We'll do a pregame show and a postgame show. So, yeah, just tune into those, please, if you haven't. If you have, thank you. We've reached 5,000 viewers so far in the entire season. That means a lot to me, and I hope we can continue to grow this channel over the years to the point where we're one of the mainstream ones. So, yeah, big things ahead, hopefully, for this channel. And it looks like big things are ahead for our Pirates, too, because 6-3, we're sitting nice and pretty right now. And it would be nice and pretty if my computer decided to load. I'm going to pause this and go get my iPad because computer is not on my good side. All right, back at it with you guys now. Sorry, I hit the pause button on my phone, so you probably couldn't even tell I took a pause there, but I had to go get my iPad real quick to get the stats up for the games, but we're obviously going to start with opening day. 10 short days ago, or 10 long days ago, however you interpret time. That's up to you. Sorry, it's a burp, but not me. Anyway, Pirates fell to the Mets 11 by a final of 11-7 on opening day. Rather unfortunate for sure. Here's my quick tidbits on that. And you could go see more of my tidbits in full on each individual game on those YouTube shorts that I make for every game. So more full will be on there. This is just more or less a weekly recap real quick and looking ahead to the week. If you want the most in-depth information from me for any game, just find that game. Please find that game's YouTube short pregame or postgame at my feed. They're labeled pretty nicely, so I hope you can find those rather easier. So yeah, but anyway, let's talk about this. The Pirates fell to the Mets 11-7 in New York on opening day. Obviously, we all know that was Paul Skeens' worst start, unfortunately, since he began his major league career on May 11th, 2024. Correct me if I'm wrong there, but I'm almost positive it's May 11th. Is May 11th a Monday? I'm getting tired. But anyway, May 11th, yeah, it's a Monday this year. So, yeah, it was May 11th, 2024. That's when his career began, and it was unfortunately his worst start since then, but I don't blame a lot of that on Paul Skeens. I don't. I think Cruz, more or less, the drop balls really hurt Skeens, and I mean, maybe his pitches weren't in the best place, but you cannot crap talk Paul Skeens for that game. You can't. He's done way too many good things to this organization. He's allowed to have one bad start every once in a while. Seriously. But, yeah, I was glad to see the offense responded. BAL kept us in this one, I remember. I'm drifting a little bit here, unfortunately. But BAL kept us in this one. Brendan Lau kept us in this one a little bit. I'm reading the recap. Lau, 2 home runs. Henry Davis did good. That cut it to 6-4. We responded well. We never really went away, which is huge against the Mets lineup like this one. So very good to see that. And yeah, just very pleased for the most part to see the fight, but not pleased with the outcome. March 28th now is a Saturday. Luis Robert Jr. walked off the Pirates to end a pitcher's duel. Pirates lost to the Mets 4-2. However, the final score wasn't indicative of the pitching matchup in this game. Both Keller and who was on the hill for the Mets? I forget. Why did I forget? Why am I so bad with this? David Pedersen for the Mets. They both pitched terrific games. Shout out to both of them. They were phenomenal. But ultimately, it was the Mets that pulled this one out with the Robert home run. Pitchers' duels aren't benefiting us this year as much as I would have hoped for them to. And that's rather disappointing, but it is what it is. You just got to, not worry about it because the hitting has gone so much better thus far. We're not only are we in the top half right now for home runs, we're in the top 5. I'm going to use this as a business example because I'm in the Pitt Business School, if you didn't watch any of my intro videos. There are 2 types of accounting that you take in Pitt Business. One of them is called financial accounting, and obviously, you know what a lot of people know what that is. But I'll explain it. Financial accounting. Okay. It's mostly on reporting, historical standard. This is from Google AI. It's external. It's the stuff you report to investors and regulators. It's a lot of rules based. It's GAAP, IFRS. Managerial, on the other hand, is internal, real-time, or future-oriented. So, moral of the story, financial accounting external, managerial accounting internal. You may ask why I bring this up. Because a lot of people I know have a clear and you have to take these classes if you're a Pitt Business student. It doesn't matter if you're a finance, I shouldn't use finance because it kind of relates. It doesn't matter if you're a marketing major, you're dead set on marketing, you're really good at it, you know how to market yourself, you're amazing. You still have to take this class, regardless of however much you like it or not. But what happens to a lot of people is they're either really good with financial accounting or they're really good at managerial accounting. And to take managerial accounting, you have to get a good grade in financial accounting first. It's passing, or if you're an accounting major, get a C. But the reason I'm bringing this up is because it feels like the Pirates are the one who is rocking, earning the A's, acing managerial accounting, but they flunked financial. Because if you go back to 2025, this team was awful with hitting. I'm not going to sugarcoat that. And for the first however many games, we had a hitting coach as our manager. God bless the Minnesota Twins and their fan base, because that's going to go over real well. But, look at our hitters. Freaking Cam Devaney. Adam Frazier. How good was that? IKF. He just hit the ball, but he didn't have any pop. It's an issue when your infield essentially was Devaney, Gonzalez, Horwitz. I'm getting tired. IKF. And then your outfield was Alexander Canario and Jack Sawinski, who had 150 averages. That is getting tricked and setting yourself up for failure, regardless if you have Paul Skeens on the mound. That is not good. Same with Tommy Pham. Although he did turn it on. Andrew McCutchen was never the problem. And you see that because how he's playing in Texas. He is playing elite ball in Texas. It's a big freaking difference when you go from Jack Sawinski to Ryan O'Hearn and Jake Mangum. This hitting is at least respectable this year. That is what is winning us games, whether you like it or not. It's winning you games when you have guys like that in the outfield and not who we had last year. And I'm not trying to criticize these guys we had last year. They're respectable ball players. They're much better at baseball than I'll ever be. And they are in the top 0.1% of the best baseball players in the world. They're phenomenal at baseball. It's just something didn't work out here. And that's unfortunate because I love Jack Sawinski. And I really, really, really wanted Jack Sawinski to succeed here. But it is what it is. Hopefully he succeeds on the Dodgers. And maybe he'll even get a ring there. He probably will. So that'd be good for him. For sure. Anyway, moral of the story is our hitting makes up for the fact that we haven't been the best in these pitchers' duels this year. And that game proved it. On Sunday, though, March 29th, that tangent's over. So let's move on to March 29th here. Pirates beat the Mets 4-3. It was a great win for sure. Very much like how we fought today that game behind Carmen. We've won both of Carmen's starts this year, which is interesting because I personally think that it could be a little better with Carmen, but we'll get to that another day. But O'Hearn was the star. Brandon Lau. Those two basically carried our team for that road trip. But that's why you go out and get guys like that. That's the reason you get guys like that. So I think the Pirates are learning something in real time. And that's really good because they're building their philosophy how it should be built. In the meantime, though, something needs to be done about the hitting program. Because Connor Griffin, and I saw a Cardinals fan shit talking, sorry for the language, crap talking. I shouldn't say that because I'm Catholic. But Jesus rose for our sins today, so it doesn't. So forgive me, Lord Jesus. We have to confess him for a reason. But anyway, crap talking. Connor Griffin, with his average, saying, we need to talk about the 19-year-old. Okay, yeah. It's a rival fan base. I get it. Them and the Reds, they could both do something better with their time. Read a book, go on a walk, take a run. Come on, guys. Seriously. I'm going to call those fan bases out because I enjoy calling those two fan bases out, but God bless them both. Anyway, we're not going to talk about the Cardinals or the Reds. We're going to talk about the Pirates, but we will talk about the Reds in a minute. But Connor Griffin has a .113 average. And this guy's a phenomenal hitter. I hope he turns out great in the big leagues. But it's something either about the hitting development in the minors here, or it's the hitting coach in the majors that's the issue. And you have not seen that with Lionel Hurt. That's why they are carrying this offense, which is good, but I still think you need to examine the hitting program as a whole, and I don't know if they did enough this winter to do when it comes to that. They got the bats they needed, but the bats they needed were external, not internal. And if you're going to pride yourself on development, you need to do a better job with the hitting development. But that's beside the point. We won a game, so yeah, we're leaving New York 1-2. We're on to Cincinnati now. We're night one. It looked like the season was going to be ugly. We lost to the Reds 2-0. Another pitcher's duel lost. This is what I mean about pitcher's duels. So, yeah, that was crazy. And then on Tuesday night, we introduced something special that I am about to pull up on my computer because of what it means to the city of Pittsburgh. I'm going to give a shout out first off so we avoid copyright to Fox Sports NFL because I'm about to play the Fox Sports NFL song with that and you'll see why in a minute. So get ready. First off, though, as I said, credit to the NFL on Fox theme, soundtrack guru, whatever it is. So I don't want to get copyrighted. So get ready. But here comes the NFL on Fox theme. Enter the traffic code! That's right, Pirates Nation. The traffic cone truly did stimulate something in this team. It sparked this team, and it brought out a part of this organization that we haven't seen in years. A traffic cone that was stolen by Jake Mangum on the side of the road. Okay, enough with the music. But a traffic cone that was stolen by Jake Mangum on the side of the road stimulated this team and brought it to a new level. We won the game Tuesday night in Cincinnati, 8-3, and then they hoisted the cone in the dugout with the welder's mask. It was awesome. So it was I think it was O'Hard, Reynolds, Cruz, all homer that night. This and Bubba had a great pitching game. This is the offense we needed. This is what we did this offseason. I was so hyped this game. But anyway, we leave March 2-3. On to the last game of the road trip in Cincinnati. We win 8-3. Skeens catches up. He has a good outing. Another impressive one where the offense goes off. O'Neill hits another home run. Nicky G comes up big. And yeah, this team just, we dominated in Cincy. Whether you like it or not, we flipping dominated. Then Thursday comes around. You may say, we had an off day Thursday. Why are you talking about it? Well, I'm talking about it because that's the day that Connor Griffin was called up and they announced KG was debuting on Friday against the Orioles. And it was reported that day that he signed a $140 million extension for 9 years, over the course of 9 years, with the Pirates. So that was a great contract by the Pirates. Very happy to see that get done. I hope we could still get something done with Skeens, despite not doing it then when we probably should have supposed to have done it back in 2024, but that's beside the point. Let's celebrate KG, and I'm very excited for what he's going to do here in Pittsburgh. This start is not indicative of who he is, and he's going to be a good ball player, as you saw on Friday. But let's talk about Friday, the home opener, the most anticipated home opener in years, and we won 5-4. I was honestly surprised that we won this game because we don't play particularly well in home openers. So that was definitely impressive for sure. Super thrilled with the way the team played in this home opener in particular. So yeah, that was rather impressive. Very pleased with the home opener. So let's talk about that game though a little bit more. Keller got the start. He pitched lights out. Connor Griffin, obviously the big hit for the RBIs. O'Hearn scored, and that made it 1-0. That was awesome. You obviously saw them hoisting the cone again in the bullpen. That was an awesome game to watch. I unfortunately was not at opening day this year because I was busy with some stuff, but yeah. Then Triolo, then Davis, that made it 3-0. Taylor Ward made it 5-3. And then Basayo made it 5-3. And then Gunnar homered in the top of the ninth off Soto, making it 5-4. But that doesn't matter. Pirates still won the game 5-4. Yesterday was probably the best Pirates game I have been at in a long time. And it was the best game of the year by far. This is where the speech, obviously, that Donnie played. And I will play it for you. Copyright to whoever for this because I don't want to get copyright trouble. Don Kelly speaks about Pittsburgh. Okay, I'm trying to pull up the speech. Hang on. Okay.
Everybody, Jason Mackey here from...
That's about Jason Mackey, I'm sorry. Hang on. Pittsburgh. Sorry about this. I just want to play this speech for you guys because I think it's important. Okay. I think this is the speech. this is courtesy to the Pirates Facebook page. So listen to this. This is a big one. So listen to this, please. Courtesy of the Pirates Facebook page. Once again, I don't want to get copyrighted, but this is what he meant, and this speech truly had an impact in yesterday's win. Take a look. Take a listen.
Sir.
Hang on. Now we start.
Sir, diehard, I believe black and gold. It means a lot to me, and I know it means a lot to you too. And I asked the staff when we were having one of our meetings this offseason, send me some words of what does Pittsburgh mean to you guys? As a player group, I want you guys to think about that too. What does Pittsburgh mean? Pittsburgh just resonates. Grit, toughness, resilience, perseverance, loyalty. And in my mind, that's what we do every day. That's who the Pittsburgh Pirates are, those things. That's what we have to be every single day. From when we start today, going out there as a full group, and as we carry this through the 2026 season, that's what we do. That's what we do every day, is emulate those words, that toughness, that grit, that loyalty to each other, and how we go about it.
So that speech, in my opinion, meant a lot for the future of the team, and it showed yesterday in the win. Carbon pitched great to start. However, he ended up allowing 2 runs. That gave Baltimore a 2-0 lead. I didn't feel good about the Pirates at that point. However, this team, I believe, inspired by that speech, rallied to get some runs back, making it 2-1 in the bottom of the 4th. Who came through there? I forget exactly. Oh, hang on. It's not showing. But anyway, we got a run in the bottom of the 4th. Why can't I remember who scored it? It was 2-1 after 4. Then Jake Mangum on a bunt. His hustle, his grit, his energy, and his passing got him to first, kept the inning alive, tied the game in the bottom of the 8th, 2-2. Dennis Santana comes in, holds them to no runs in the top of the 9th. Then he obviously gives that look, I think, to Gunnar Henderson. That was really awesome. And then Nicky York walks us off with the traffic cone celebration on the field. That was awesome to see yesterday. Pirates win 3-2. That was a feel-good win, and that's what I mean when you say that speech was the catalyst to yesterday's win, if you want my opinion. So that was a great win yesterday for sure. Today, yesterday, because it's almost 2 a.m. on Monday morning. So happy Easter yesterday to all those who celebrate. I know I did, and I was super happy. He is risen. Hallelujah. But anyway, the Pirates beat the Orioles 8-2. I was at this game as well. Played really well. Put up a great effort today. And yeah, we showed a good Baltimore team who's boss. Craig Albenraz, their manager, got ejected. So that's funny and interesting. So it was a very good week this past week. Finished the week 6-3. That's good enough for second in the Central, I believe. We're going to take a quick look here at the standings, and then we'll look ahead to the games this week against the Padres and a quick road trip to the Windy City to take on the Chicago Cubs for the first time this year. Let's check the division standings. I'll go through these real quick with you guys. Sally. With the AL East, the Yankees are leading it at 7-2. Second place, the Tampa Bay Rays at 4-5. Third place, the Blue Jays at 4-5. Fourth place, the Orioles at 3-6. Fifth place, the Red Sox at 2-7, who've been just a disaster to start the year. I don't know what's going on there, but I find it funny and interesting. AL Central, Guardians lead that division at 6-4. Second place, you got the Royals at 4-5. Third place, this will come as a shocker, you got the White Sox at 4-5, who have the same record as the AL champion Blue Jays, and I think they just won a series against them, so that's crazy. 4-5. Fourth place, you got the Tigers at 4-5. Fifth place, you got the Twins at 3-6. That's just so interesting. AL West, leading that division, you got the Astros at 6-4. Second place, you got the Halos, the Angels at 5-5. Third place, you have the Rangers at 4-5. Fourth place, you have the Mariners at 4-6, which is rather funny. And fifth place, you have the Athletics at 3-6. NL East time now. Leading the division, you have the Miami Marlins at 6-3, but I think a lot of that was their schedule because they hosted the Rockies and White Sox to the beginning of the year. But oh well, that's life. Second place, you got the Mets at 6-4. Third place, you got the Braves at 6-4. Fourth place, you got the Phillies, the Fiends at 5-4. And in fifth place, you got the Nationals at 3-6. NL Central time now. Brewers leading the division, unfortunately, at 7-2. Second place is us at 6-3. Third place are the Reds at 6-3. Fourth place are the Cardinals at 5-4. And fifth place are the Cubs at 4-5, which, as I get more tired, is a little surprising. And in the NL West, to cap things off, Dodgers 7-2, Diamondbacks 5-5, Padres are 4-5, Rockies are 3-6, Giants are 3-7. Let's take a look at the wild card standings now real quick. It's still very early, very, very early, but it's worth taking a look at them. Yankees leading the East Division, Astros are in second, leading the West, Guardians leading the Central in third. I wouldn't be surprised if it stays that way, to be honest with you, but it's a long season, so don't count the chickens' eggs until they hatch, or whatever that saying is. Fourth place, the first wild card's the Angels at 5-5. Fifth place, the second wild card's the Royals at 4-5. And in sixth place, weirdly enough, the third wild card at 4-5 are the White Sox. That's funny. And then on the outside looking in, we have the Rangers, the Rays, the Blue Jays, the Tigers, all are 4-5. Mariners are 4-6. Athletics, Twins, and Orioles are all 3-6. And then the Red Sox are 2-7. Again, this means nothing right now. The NL leaders right now, the first place team in the NL is the Brewers at 7-2. Second place, you got the Dodgers at 7-2. Third place, you have the Marlins at 6-3. Wouldn't be surprised if those top two stayed. Would be very surprised if the Marlins won that division. Boy, I better go to bed. But anyway, yeah, I'm going to go to bed here as soon as I'm done filming this, probably. But yeah, that's your free there. NL wildcard time now. The first NL wildcard. Your Pittsburgh Pirates. If the season ended today, we would be hosting a home playoff game and hoisting cones. Woo! Anyway, we're the first wildcard team. Second wildcard team, the Reds of Cincinnati. The third wildcard team, the Mets of New York. And tied with them, but just on the outsides, the Braves at 6-4. 5-4 records belong to the Phillies and Cardinals. Diamondbacks are 500 at 5-5. 4-5 records belong to the Padres and Cubs. 3-6 belong to the Nationals and Rockies. And 3-7 belongs to the Giants. So it's definitely crazy for sure. Hopefully that holds. So you're really tired now, and we host a playoff game. All right, let's go through these 6 games here real quick for you guys before I get to bed because I'm starting to get tired, if you couldn't tell. But anyway, let's talk about these games, and I'm going to get to bed. But yeah, let's look at these couple games here. Padres this week for free. Monday at 6:40, Tuesday at 6:40, Wednesday at 12:35. Friday, then this weekend, the team is away in Chicago, Windy City against the Cubby Bears. 2:20, 2:20, 2:20, 2:20 every day, essentially, against the Cubs. I'm going to look at the projected pitching matchups for those days and talk about what I think could happen this week. Herman Marquez tomorrow for the Padres. Bubba Chandler for us tomorrow night. That shouldn't be a bad matchup. So, yeah, feeling good about that. On Tuesday, it's Paul Skeens against Nick Pivetta. That's a highly touted matchup, but oh my gosh. But what was I going to say? But their ERAs are both high. 6.75 for Pivetta, 9.53 for Skeens. Wednesday, we got Michael King against Mitch Keller on the mound there. First day's the day off. Friday, the pitchers still haven't been announced yet for this weekend. They announced them on the fly. Let's see. If one of these apps here may have an idea. Okay. 7-day probables. Okay, here we go. CBS. it looks like, oh crap, come on. Give me an April time. For Friday, it looks like Carmen will go against Sota Amonga. So that's meh. His ERA is 7.20. That's interesting. Saturday, it looks like Ashcraft against Cabrera. And Sunday, it is Bubba. I think it's Bubba's turn. Bubba against Jameson Tyon. So that's interesting for sure. I think that I'd like to go 4-2 over these next 6. Like, if we could go 4-2 over these next 6, that puts you in a really good spot. That means you're 10-5 through 15. That is a big deal, whether you know it or not. So I feel good about it. I hope we are 4-2 after 15. I think personally that it's rather likely that we take 2 against the Padres. I mean, they're not hot. They're not cold, but they're not hot. It's still a good team, but I think we could take 2 out of 3 against them. If we could take 2 out against them and take 2 against the Cubs, that'd be huge. I feel like it could be a 4-2 week, but I'm probably leaning on the 3-3 side. But at this point, 3-3, 4-2, I would take either or. I would not want 2-4. 2-4 puts you at 8-7, and you really do not want that if you want to stay in the thick of things, in my opinion. But I think you need to go 4-2 this week. So I think it's doable. It's going to be tough because Wrigley is not the friendliest ballpark for the Bucks, but I think we could do it. I think we could take 2 games in Wrigley, and I think we could take 2 games, if not sweep the Padres. Your life becomes so much easier if you could sweep the Padres. So I think that's what we should be trying for right now. Obviously, we try to win every game, but I think that the goal should right now to be sweep San Diego and take 1 or 2 against the Cubs. That would be a big deal. It's going to be very hard to sweep the Cubs at Wrigley. I'm saying it straight up. It's going to be hard. So, yeah, I mean, it's really all I got for you guys tonight. I hope you enjoyed me babbling for like 35 minutes of my life. We're going to try to do this earlier on Sundays, and pretty much at this point, I'm going to try to do this like rather closer to when I come home from the game, or like around 10 o'clock as soon as Sunday Night Baseball ends. So I'll try to do better with this. We won't be doing this late at night much more, but yeah, definitely fun times for sure. That's all I got for you guys today. Enjoy this next week. Catch up with me tonight on my pregame and postgame show for the game against the Padres. In the meantime, though, have a good one. Take care, stay safe, and as always, peace and God bless. See you guys next Sunday for this, but I will see you guys tomorrow, or tonight, later today actually, for the pregame show for tonight's tilt at 6:40 against the Padres. So, peace and God bless. Happy Easter. He has risen, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button.